What's going on YouTube channel? It's Taurus down again, y'all. Go hard or go home channel. All right, so I'm making this video today, y'all. I did a little clip on this before already, but I had to see the whole thing because this thing done sparked like such a whole debate that even shouldn't even be there. All right, before we even get started, y'all hit like, subscribe, share. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for the doggone subscriptions. That's how you donate to the channel. That's how you let me know what you want. All right? I don't do them cash apps and all that junk. Just hit like, subscribe, share, and let me know in the comments. All right? Look, I've gotten tired of black people in general being asked to accept less than life. All right? Black women should not settle. No, Ebony K should not date a fucking bus driver. No. And I'm going to explain why in this video while I'm talking about the other stuff, okay? They say Ayana fixes your life. In this situation, I don't know how she fixed her mouth to disrespect this woman. And I'm calling it disrespect. This is what it is. I'm going to explain it later in the video. When we get to the parts where we're talking about those things, she is disrespecting this woman. It's pathetic. All right? Black people in general keep getting asked to take less. All right? If you're a black guy and you're watching this, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all what I want y'all to get out of this, and then we're going to go into the video. If you're a black guy and you're watching this, you need to see this and see that this woman getting asked to take less than what she's worth. The same way when you come out of the ghetto in the hood, and then you go back to there, or when you're around these jokers from the ghetto in the hood, these broads expect you to marry them. They don't do that to the white dude who comes out of the trailer park. The girls in the trailer park already know they're nowhere near his level. I want the guys to take that out of here today. We got to start working on this level junk. It don't matter what group of people you come from, white, black, Puerto Rican, Asian, you got to start working on that. Women, look, we told y'all we don't want them fucking lace fronts. We told y'all we don't want them damn weaves, the doggone lashes, the mink lashes, the damn tattoos all over the place. We told y'all that. We get our money, we want this. And you should get what you want if you done did all the work. From both sides, we should be looking at it like that. But this right here, we finna watch this shit. And I'm gonna be commenting along the way. I don't think this woman should have got talked to this way. I don't think she should have got told certain things that she got told. And I'm gonna go over those in the video. But here we go. Ayana, I'm finna fix your life. Let's roll.
To have you here with us today on the Griot. I want to start, dear, with something that we share, which is that we are both attorneys by trade. You are a lawyer, you have a legal background. And as women in the law, Iyanla, do you believe that lens, that legal lens, informs our perspective and the way we show up in the world as women?
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I got out. Yeah, very masculine, very intellectual, almost stripped and robbed of humanity. It really shows the dichotomy between the letter of the law and the spirit of the law. For me, it just didn't feed my soul. And so I had to get out.
I feel that, and I do feel that I might have heard on a date or two, Iyanla, that we are not in a courtroom, Ebony. You can put the gavel down, and I do feel it can spill over into the way I show up in my womanhood, which is really the center of this conversation today, Iyanla. We want to discuss.
Okay, real quick, while they're talking about that, I want to bring that one up too. All right, because some of the series and stuff we'll be doing, we'll be talking about like dealing with professional women like this. They gotta learn how to turn that shit off when they go to the house. They got to. But if they don't know how, you get out of there, homie. If you're a dude and you watching this, you get out of there. If you're a woman, you watching this, hey, you just heard her say it. Sometimes I overdo it. That's the problem with the professional woman thing, but that's not the black or white thing. We're gonna get onto that one in a minute here. But that part does play your job, and the things that you have going on does play a part in all of this.
Discuss masculine energy, feminine energy. I do want to start with kind of a news framing, which is that women's rights across the country, especially black women's rights, they're under attack. Lots of laws are banning abortions. They are regulating what we can and cannot do with our bodies. What do you think happens for black women when this type of siege is at play and we don't feel we have anyone to protect us?
Right. Well, the first thing I think we do is we go into anger. We go into anger without a clear ask. Doesn't make sense to be angry unless you've got to ask. What is it that you're asking for? People can say anything in the world, but that doesn't mean that they get a right to do it. It doesn't mean that they get a right to affect you. But because so many of us are programmed and conditioned and educated to think like men, we respond like men. And when I mean men, I don't mean two-legged beasts. I mean in the masculine energy, and it becomes competitive, it becomes aggressive, it becomes againstness, and that's not who we are as women. It just isn't. And I think for Black women, particularly for us, the way that we've been programmed and conditioned and educated in the society to expect less, to accept less, to be angry and to complain, but to not really step into our authentic self, our authentic power.
Hey, I'm gonna pause her real quick. I want y'all to pay attention to the fact that she just said being accepted, being conditioned to accept less, right? She just talked bad about that, but then later on in this show, this woman's gonna ask this other woman to take less. See, that's another part that I got a problem with in it. That's why I pulled the whole thing. I like to say the whole thing. She just talked about that. She just did. We're conditioned to do that. That needs to be changed. But she's going to turn around and do it right in this video.
Power as women and create what we want, even if that's create the demand. No, not here, not today.
Okay, I hear you articulating, Iyanla, this masculine energy traits, the competitiveness, the assertiveness. Tell me how you would frame feminine traits. Aggressive.
Grace.
Aggressive.
Yeah, aggressive, not assertive. It's okay for a woman to be assertive. Grace, first of all.
Okay, here's the thing about that. When your ass is in a high-powered doggone job like lawyer, assertive ain't enough. Your ass better be freaking aggressive. That's why guys don't like the professional women. That's why I kept saying stay away from the professional. They have to be aggressive. She's trying to call this assertiveness. No, it's not. We are guys. We have these jobs. We know you got to be aggressive as fucking them jobs. That's why she did. The other woman just got done saying a minute ago, yeah, I be on dates and guys have to tell me to stop being aggressive because they know you're doing it from work. Just showing y'all some shit through this video. All right? Don't mean this woman right here should settle anymore or settle any less for that, but those things are in there too. Still don't mean you should settle. Let's roll.
I think we've lost our grace. We move in such a harsh and hard way. Grace, compassion, nurturing, nourishing, elegance. How about majesty? How about divinity? How about holiness? This is not a language you hear coming out of most women's mouths, but they'll talk about being a boss, being a diva, being, in charge. And many of us are either not seated in our throne as queens, or we're in the throne and the crown is crooked, meaning we're in the throne and we don't really know how to hold that place without the masculine aggressiveness and demanding and attachment.
Well, here's the deal, Iyanla. You cannot hold a throne without aggressiveness and assertiveness, harsh assertiveness, which is aggression. You can't. That's why the king always has an army. Because you're going to have to lay down some asses every now and again. And you're going to do it. You don't hold positions of power without aggression. It doesn't happen. Women inherited this when they took these jobs and shit on. This ain't just a black woman thing now. This is women in general. They inherited this when they took on certain jobs and stuff like that. You have to have that to be in there, which is why Kevin Samuels was like, just stay away from them. That's why. They have to have it. I agree with it. Don't think you should settle. I don't think you should settle. I'm telling you right now, if you're black and you listen to this, girl, don't you ever fucking settle. I'm finna talk a little bit about what I'm gonna do for how I told my daughter and shit when we get to that part. But let's go ahead. Let it keep rolling.
It's killing us. It really is.
So in a recent interview with our dear friends over at the Breakfast Club that went very viral for very good reason, you said that women are being trained to be men in skirts. I will acknowledge, I will say I was triggered. I was a hit dog, and I hollered to the entire production team to get you here today, because I actually think you're right. I think you're right, Iyanla. I do think that I'll just speak for myself vulnerably. When I think of a masculine posture and what I would expect a man to do in my life, two things come top of mind, and they are provide and they are protect.
Okay, let me stop her ass right there. Okay, because I see that I didn't know she was going to talk about that part. I had a little clip of it before we got the whole thing. Now, all women want that. They all want protection, and they all want the guy to provide. All right, that's what makes the guy the leader. All right, whoever is giving to the other person this protection and this providing is leading the other person. It's going to work like that no matter what relationship that you're in. If you're at your bosses, you're at work, the person that's leading protects, provides, does this. When you go to church, the pastor is the one you go to and talk to. You pray to God for me, protect me, all this, that kind of junk. That's whoever the leader is doing the protecting and the providing. Now, here's the whole thing. And this is where it starts to get slippery. All right? You can only protect and provide on certain levels and certain social levels and social economic levels, depending on what you have and who you are and what you've accomplished. I want to bring up that point before I let them go any further. Now, just listen though, because these women are famous women with money, but they are still talking about the very basic protect and provide. Keep that in mind. Let's keep rolling.
And when my lived experience, and I think I'm still relatively young, I guess, but I'm 40 in September. So, you know, I've had some relationships, and I've yet to find a man who has shown, I mean, this includes even my father, who was absent. I've yet to have a male energy that provided or protected me consistently ever. So I think that I have taken on the reins to protect and provide for myself, because what I'm not going to do, Iyanla, is be without. Baby, it's not happening.
Be without what?
So that would
without what?
Be without protection, and be without the necessities of life.
Right.
Okay.
But I say that with an invitation, Iyanla, check me. Show me the error of my ways. Tell me how I might be missing it, because I might be.
Okay.
Okay, before she talks, I'm going to say something. Okay, I don't know if the woman have found this or not, or maybe she just ain't ran across the people that she likes or whatever. Or maybe she's not dating up high enough, or maybe she can't get guys up high to date her. I don't know. Don't know. I do know this. And like I kept showing with that hypergamy chart that I got, the higher up women get, the less doggone options they have. She's gotten herself, okay, she said she felt like she never, okay, that's fine when you say you're going to do it for yourself, but you put yourself to a certain level, right? Now there's less options. So it's something she's going to have to look at, you know what I'm saying? But I still don't think she has to take anything lower than what she wants. And I'm going to tell y'all why in a minute.
I too am an alpha woman. So I understand what that means. And I tell people all the time, I was a horrible mother. I was a great father. And I was a horrible mother because I'd never been mothered. So I didn't know how to affirm, how to nurture, how to nourish, how to guide. I knew how to direct, how to demand, how to discipline, and like you said, provide and protect. Those are masculine energies. And the distinction here is men build, women create. So we know how to build. We know how to get to the external and get the work done and drive and push and do it. We don't know how to be still, create it, and allow it to come to us. And I learned that when I lost everything. I learned how to create because I had already built and it all crumbled. The house, the husband, the job, the contracts, the professional career in the world, stripped of it all the attachments, the necessities of life, the creature comforts,
Right.
until I was stripped down to the bare bone. And then I had to learn how not to build. Build is external, create is internal. And we as women have the power to create and attract anything we desire. But we don't get still. We won't shut up. And we manage everything through fear, control, and survival, as opposed to feeling, knowing, and blooming or flourishing.
Well, let me just tell her this. A lot of women grew up like the Ebony K woman here just got done talking to me. She just got done saying some shit. All right. Her whole life has been this way. All right. Now I can understand that being a black kid myself, because you miss out on you probably come from a one-parent family. It wasn't two parents and shit like that, like she just said. Same thing for me. So it's like, hey, you go through that the whole time. So when you come out on the other end, you're not expecting for other people to help you for real. Because you ain't seen in your household people helping each other. You seen the one person got to do it by themselves. And that's what you start doing. Okay? That's the way I see that one. Because it's the way that it was happening with me. And it's happened with a lot of other people. But I think with even with that being the case, I mean, you got to start somewhere saying to yourself that, hey, look, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to have this person around, or this right there. You're going to have to start to build that on your own. And I'm going to see if she's going to tell her that in this video, because I don't know what's going to happen in the rest of it. I don't see that little small clip. But the thing of it is, I'm going to see if this woman's going to tell her, like, hey, look, you got to learn to work with somebody else to start building stuff. You didn't see it when you was a kid, but you still got to do it now. So I'm going to see what she's going to say.
Complete different thing. But since we've never been trained, we haven't been trained, we haven't been taught. So we do it the way we were taught to do it, which is very masculine in nature.
It's time for me to get set up for therapy, and I use this room as my office. But the desk is over here, and so...
And very external. I feel that you are describing me to a T, Ms. Iyanla. Now, is this why you are conducting a rites of passage program so that women, all of black women in particular, can learn to create?
Women, so that we can learn our authentic power, that we can learn the distinction between a powerful woman and a woman in her power. There's a distinction, but there are skills and tools and practices and processes that we have to learn. At every age, the 20s have a process, the 30s have a process, the 40s have a 50, 60. We each have a process. And if you don't learn your 20 process, you're going to be doing it at 50.
Yeah.
If you don't complete your 30 process, you're going to be doing it at 60. And that means you'll be running on overdrive instead of seated in your power. Yes. And the secrets are there. They come from our culture. They come from our history. But no one has taught us. So me, as a descendant of Africans and Native Americans, I have a very lovely blend and mix. And I just, for a long time, I didn't do it because women in general, They don't want to hear. They think their way is right. And I'm crazy when I say sit down, shut up, and listen, and you can create what you want. They don't want to hear that.
Well, I want to hear it. So tell me when the sign up is. I don't want to miss it. Let me know when you're taking registrations because I am
Right
curious. I had a very lovely single black mother, and I'm going to get to the statistics on single black motherhood and family life. But she was, by definition, more of a father figure in terms of providing and protecting. And I think that's very common. So according to the U.S. Census, Iyanla, 23% of households in the country are single-parent households, and we know 80% of them are led by women.
Right.
How does this affect the child, both little girls, little boys, non-binary children? How does that frame their expectation of women when the mother is in charge?
It all depends on what the mother or the woman demonstrates about being a woman. if she's demonstrating that it's hard and it's rough and nobody's helping me and I got to do this and you got to do it this way, then that's what the children are going to get. If she's angry because she's alone, if she's desperate because if she's not conscious, if she's not careful. I mean, when I look at the damage that I did to my children, not being clear about who I am as a feminine expression of the chief architect and creator of the universe. When I understand that I didn't know that and how to tap into that and the damage I did to my children who I love with all my heart, as soon as I discovered how off I was, I confessed it to them and asked them to watch me as I rebuilt who I was. And I'm still very alpha, but I'm in my throne and my crown is straight.
Okay. I'm looking forward to straightening my crown, Dr. Iyanla. Let me ask you this. Let's get to the logistics, though. Let's get to the logistics. We know that Black women are earning college degrees faster than anybody else. Many of us are doing like we're doing, Iyanla. We're getting those terminal degrees, those JDs, MD, PhDs. We also are the fastest growing group of entrepreneurs, along with Latina women in America. Pew Research said that women are now out-earning men
Yes.
in 22
Yeah.
of the largest cities in America, including where I live, New York, DC, LA, you name it. When we talk, and I know that you've said that you cannot teach a man or tell a man how to be a man, so I will not ask you to indict men in this question.
But how about this? Before I let her finish this, I'm going to talk about that study she just got done talking about, because that's what I talk about a lot on my channel. All right, because guys got to fix that shit. You got a lot of guys complaining. This is why I'm saying Black women shouldn't settle. No women should settle. Okay, because you got a whole doggone manosphere of guys doggone damn complaining about this junk, but they're not doing nothing. I've even had personal conversations with guys on this channel, writing back and forth and talking to them about things like that, making videos about it. You tell a guy, hey, look, you try being an entrepreneur. Well, everybody can't do that. And the manosphere is doggone perpetuating that shit. But you got a bunch of women doing it, but the guys can't. You see, that's a problem. That's why the women shouldn't freaking settle. This is why the women shouldn't settle at all across the freaking board. Them guys need to step the fuck up. Okay? If women are damn trying to outpace you, and then you're like, well, I'm not even going to try to keep up. First off, how you going to be the leader if you ain't trying to keep up? Women should not settle. Black women in fucking particular should not settle. I have doggone talked to a lot of black guys, and doggone it, you get to telling them about what you, hey, look, bro, you do something, come up some more, and then, well, everybody can't do it. Well, shit, what you expect for this woman to follow? She's right about those statistics and stuff like that. But the manosphere is perpetuating shit like, oh, that's okay. Well, if you're happy being at the bottom, then that's fine. And then when a woman gets to the top, she should pick you. This woman's gonna get this bus driver shit. And hell no, that shouldn't go that way. And we're gonna talk about it some more when we get there.
I do want you to speak, Iyanla, to how women need to, position ourselves so that we can be in our divinity, so we can have our crowns right, how we can create and not build, when some of us, quite frankly, feel that the men that are available to us, and I'm talking about across the color spectrum, across the age spectrum, trust me, I've done them all, they are not positioned to protect nor provide because of some of the statistics we just talked about. They're not earning the incomes. They're not having the resources, and some of them are not even showing up in the leadership.
Okay, real quick, because I did the video about that one, that little short clip right there is where they start talking about some of that stuff. Here's the deal. I totally agree with this woman because I've seen the studies, not just seeing the studies, just talking to the guys and being amongst this junk myself, you know what I'm saying, and being an entrepreneur and junk myself, okay? And a lot of guys is not doing it. They're not trying to even go there. And they're being told by other guys that that's okay. This shit ain't. I keep telling guys all the time, and it's happening right here in this video. Now it's two women talking about it. I talk about this junk from the doggone male perspective, but when you hear these women talking about it, it's the same thing that I'm saying. These women want somebody that's doing better than them. Guys already know that. The whole manosphere keeps telling them that, but they're backing down out of that. That's what those statistics she's talking about, that's what they're showing. They're backing down out of that. We're allowing women to become the entrepreneurs and a lot of the doggone leaders in the companies and stuff like that. And they're not giving any competition to that. And then they expect for the women to accept them to date down. We already know that women don't do that. And in particular, women shouldn't settle at all. They shouldn't freaking be settling. Don't do it. It's the rules. These niggas know the rules. If they don't want to follow the rules, oh well. You don't get no booty.
Would you date a bus driver?
No, don't.
You? Would you date
If
a
he
bus
owns the bus, if he owns
No.
it, if he owns the bus,
See,
he
that's
owns
a
it.
problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria.
Oh, it's not the personal woman's standards and criteria. You see, this shit works. It's been working the same way since the whole doggone world been going around, okay? If the woman gets on the same level as you or gets at a higher level than you, she ain't gonna want you. It's just, this shit been just forever. And I don't understand why this lady right here is even trying to doggone go against that. All right. But here's another thing I want to bring up too. You know what? This Ebony K lady here is like, they're both ex-lawyers. Both of these are ex-lawyers. And then like, they're both been on TV. So they got some money. They got a lot of money. All right, they got money, pretty decent money. Neither one of these women should be with a bus driver at all. And here's the deal. I don't think that Ayana would ask the same question if Ebony K was like a 39-year-old white lady with her credentials. I don't think she would tell her to date a bus driver because we all know damn well that it's not going to happen. We would all know that. That's why I say it's disrespectful to even ask this woman that. Because we would all know that. See, for some reason it's accepted when other races do it, but then not when black people do it. When black people get to their level and then it's like, okay, well, I don't want this. It's not accepted. See, that's why I brought up the thing about in the beginning. Hey, look, guys, if you're still watching this junk at this point, it's like this right here. Okay, you come up out of the hood, the ghetto, you gonna got your junk together. You don't want no tatted up ass broad and all this stuff, but they're still telling you got to accept that. And we said no. And that's the same thing she doing. I know. No. Rihanna's not going to take a bus driver. Doggone Nicki Minaj ain't taking a bus driver. Mary J. Blige ain't taking no bus driver. Did they marry guys that was broke compared to them? Yeah, but it wasn't gonna be like that. There was still some kind of producer, some other kind. But it wasn't gonna, that's too low of a drop. And the fact is that we already know that. But she's gonna be asked to settle for less. She's asking this woman, settle for less. If this girl was white, they wouldn't ask her this question. If she was a 39-year-old white multimillionaire woman, they would not ask her this question. They wouldn't tell her to do it because they would already know better. I'm just putting that one out there. Y'all drop the comments. Let me know what y'all think about that. Let's finish up and see what the rest they got to say.
And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself. My son got his first job when he was 9.
See, that's why I say this woman is like constantly contradicting the frick out of herself. I told y'all in the beginning, watch her. She's gonna talk about this, and then she's gonna turn around and say that. Now she's saying a man should carry himself. Well, hell, this is the same thing this woman is telling you. The man should be carrying himself. By then, it shouldn't be that if he owns the bus, he owns a line of buses. Like if I would tell, like I said, let me talk about what I would tell my daughter, because shit, I'm the fucking king around this joker. All right, it's like this right here. No, hell no, you're not marrying that joker. That's a freaking pauper. There's a prince right there. You can marry that prince. See, that's what happens in little movies. They go get the princess and they show them the prince. Hey girl, these are all. I done pulled all the princess from the doggone the realm. Every other king that I know has got a son. His son is here at this banquet tonight for you to meet. But you don't. The fucking bard in the corner that's singing the songs. I know you like him, but that nigga's broke. You ain't finna be with him. That's how that would work. And that's how it should work the whole way. And it should keep working that way for black people too. Because that was the white father. If this lady right here was white, okay, and she rich, white, whatever, white father, because the white rich father, whatever, would be telling her, you ain't marrying no bum. And the black rich father should be telling his daughter the same thing. And she should be telling her the same thing. Don't be marrying no. Don't settle. Nope. No. Because he should be carrying his own self. Now she's going to start talking about the man should be carrying himself. He should be. And if you carrying yourself at this level, and he should be carrying himself at a higher level. And if he's not willing to do it, like I just got done talking about a little bit ago, don't settle. That's my point. Y'all let me know what y'all think about in the comments.
9, okay? Because you're a black man, you will know how to take care of yourself. But I think the way we measure it, it's just obsolete.
I think that's a factual analysis. For whatever we want, expect, we're told we were going to get, we got to look at the numbers and what's available on the marketplace. So you're certainly not wrong in the analysis. And y'all, let's tell the truth and shame the devil. We know what you got in that prenup would never be little. It'll never be small. Child, that's a big old mound of assets. But that's okay. Let's spend a little more time just so we're really clear in this conversation, Dr. Van Zandt, difference between masculine energy and feminine energy, because I know that is not necessarily gender assigned, right? This is bigger than that. This is bigger than genitalia, right?
Right. Absolutely. When we talk about man is mind, woman is heart. And so many of us have guarded, broken, closeted hearts that we do everything from here. And here, as a woman that's been educated, that, like you said, has a degree, here will run out. Here will lie to you. This will never lie to you. But we've been taught not to trust this. We've been taught not to trust our knowing, our intuition. But a man can have a good idea and be brilliant, So we want to have good ideas. But for us, our power is in knowing. And it's in getting that intuition and moving on it. That our power is in what we feel, not necessarily emotion, but what we feel in our body. But so many of us are out of touch with our body. We'll give our body to somebody else before we really get in touch with it ourselves, because we're so busy doing till we don't know how to be. When I talk about feminine energy, again, I'm talking about the grace, the compassion, the humanity. I'm talking about mercy. I'm talking about silence, stillness. I'm talking about flow and movement. I'm talking about speaking from a place of intuitive knowing, love. I'm not, and that's not the masculine way. The masculine way is justice, structure, power, it's control. That's masculine. Feminine is dominion, not control. But most of us, many of us, I'm in recovery, are control freaks. So it's a whole nother way, a whole nother vibe. She raises her hand. There's a whole nother vibe that we can tap into, that we have to tap into, because the world is dying. This society, this system is coming down. And if we don't step into our power as women, we're going down with it. With the fall of the materialism and the collapse of the systems and the structures. We gotta, how many women do you know with degrees could live outside and survive for 3 days on the earth? How many do you know? I know I can. I know what to eat. I know where to find water. I'm not saying we got to go back to the rustic times of the Wild Wild West, but I'm saying being in contact and in touch with the earth in a way that empowers us.
Yeah.
Take the pants off. Take the pants off. Let your hoo-ha get some air.
A new definition to breathe again, huh, Iyanla? Listen, it's funny you say that. I only can survive the wilderness, and I know for sure, and I actually was able to do it for about 12 days because I was on a CBS reality show called Beyond the Edge that challenged me, though. It challenged me to do those things in a way I'd never done before. Before you leave us, I need to ask you about how what you're saying for women to sit in there knowing, be quiet for a minute, shut up and tune into our bodies, tune into our innate knowing, as I hear you say, but how that works alongside feminism. Because you've said you're not knocking feminism. You're not saying women cannot be police officers, firefighters, play football, or anything else. But you are saying that this hustle culture has given women a need to feel like we must be in competition with men. Is that
feminism for me? Feminism for me is a political or a social construct. And a woman, empowerment as a woman is an internal experience that becomes an external expression. I can be solid in myself as a woman. I may not want to play football or carry a gun on my hip. I may not. But the distinction is, I'm not looking to anything outside of myself for my power. Not. And I know that everything is coming to me to stretch, strengthen, grow me into my authentic and original being. And inside, I'm not guarded. I'm not harsh. I'm not brutal. I'm not violent. I'm not violent in my speaking. Women speaking today is so violent toward themselves and toward one another.
Well,
so
see, because the world is it's more competitive for women now because women have these high level jobs. Women are. When I was a kid, you didn't see women lawyers and shit like that. Women's job was like cooks. Like you knew, okay, we went in the cafeteria in school, you knew it was gonna be all girls back there, all women back there cooking. When you were in the restaurants, it was usually like that. You know, it was stuff like things that people would relate to, you know, women doing in general. But that's changed over time. And see, the thing is though, with those more aggressive jobs, they gotta be more aggressive. These two things ain't gonna work side by side. That's what I'm saying. I understand. Like, they're looking at this. I think these two ladies are looking at this from a woman's point of view. But that's why I keep saying it just comes down to like, hey, look, why even tell them to settle for that? Just keep it the way it is and it'll work. Because this thing that they're talking about now, it ain't gonna work either. You can't have those jobs and not be that type of person. It comes with the territory. Let me let them finish that up. And I'm going to comment a little bit at the end. We're going to get out of here.
So I'm not talking about a political construct, the women's movement.
Right.
I'm talking about the move of women for themselves, within themselves, so that they can be themselves in a completely different way.
It's internal. I hear you. One thing before you leave us, I have to ask one thing about dating. The reality is there are more men right now, Iyanla, on dating apps and seeking partnership than there even are women, contrary to popular belief. And a lot of men say that they're struggling, probably because of what you named earlier, probably because the expectations of many of the women are out of sync with what society is offering at this point in time, blah, 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 blah. How do women adjust our energy so that we are more successful when it comes to dating? If we're looking to
Well,
date
do we
men.
just want to date or do we want to be partner? That's one thing. If you have in your consciousness you want to date, you can date forever because you're going to find something wrong with everybody. But if you want to be partnering, my question is, what is your vision? What is it that you see
Yeah.
for yourself, within yourself, about being in partnership? And are you willing to be
Right.
in partnership as a woman, or do you want to be a dude having a relationship with a man? And when I say a dude, I mean how you manage yourself, how you talk to men. We got to stop talking to
Yeah.
these men like they're boys. Even if he is driving the bus and he don't own it, or picking up trash, even if he did this 7.5 to 15, that doesn't give us a right to use this divine instrument called a throat and a voice to demean somebody. But you know what? If we demean each other, we're going to demean our men.
Okay, see, now here's the thing. I don't think that they demean these people. It's like some guys get upset that there's women on here with channels that's like talking about they don't want blue collar workers and stuff like that. That's just her preference. Do I think it's cool for them to be like assholes about it? No. But it's valid. It's a valid thing. Like, hell, I want this. I got this and I want this. This is why I keep saying it. Why it keeps coming down to like I don't understand why she telling this woman anything about lowering standards of settling. I don't understand why. And if it was my daughter that I was talking to, I'd be like, hell no, you better not do none of that shit.
And we have to remember as women that while you put a woman, she's got to feed the babies. So she's going to do what has to be done. We have a level of tenacity that many men haven't experienced, particularly men of color, because their genetic memory is that if they're too much, if they're too grown, if they're too big, if they're too smart, they're going to get hung. That's a genetic memory.
Yeah.
So we have to understand that who they are as men, I don't want to say is fragile or delicate, but it's more sensitive to our mouth. And our mouths are out of order. I'm sorry, with each other, but definitely with men. It's, and I'm raising my hand. The only reason I can speak this is because I've lived it. And I knew how my life changed when I shifted from external masculine aggression to an internal knowing where I get my guidance and my direction. It's just different. And most women think it won't work in the world. But look at me. And there are hundreds of me. I'm not alone.
Yeah. Indeed. Iyanla Vanzant, just eye-opening. When I hear you talk and I hear the themes and even the tone, it's very Maya Angelou to me. It's very. It is very. Which is I intended to be the high compliment that I believe you received it. And none of us are beyond growing and learning. So I deeply appreciate the exchange and the wisdom. Final words to leave us with today.
My sister women, my sister women, my sister women. Not how we are is not bad or wrong. What we've done is not bad or wrong. What we've been taught or learned wasn't bad or wrong. Let us just consider that there's a greater possibility and another way to be.
Up for consideration. I'll put it under advisement, Dr. Vanzant.
Thank you.
I'll take it under advisement.
Well, I want to encourage
thank
you,
you.
take it to heart. Take it to heart. Not put it under advisement. Take it to heart.
I know. I'm just kidding. No, I do feel the possibilities of what could this look like in a different way. I feel that on a spiritual level. So thank you for challenging that for many of us.
Okay. So before we get up out of here,
Iyanla Vanzant, we are.
Hit the pause on that and bring myself right here. Hey, look. My final eye take on this is that this was a whole video of this woman telling this other woman about how, you know what I'm saying, you need to think down a little bit when the statistic that Ebony over here, over there, that side, yeah. Ebony brought up some good junk. And the stuff that I be telling guys too, this is why I made the video and called it, hey, black women shouldn't settle. No woman should settle because hell, she's right. Guys are not stepping up to some of these jobs, and they not becoming, you know what I'm saying, more what they need to be. And you got the whole manosphere is all on like, well, that's okay. And the hell no, it's not. Women don't want men. All of this shit contradicts itself. That manosphere contradicts itself, and this Ayana woman just did it like several times in this video. All right? She just did it like several times in this video. She started talking about, yeah, you gotta look down, but then it's like, well, a man should be carrying himself, but it can't be both. That same thing like with the manosphere. It can't be that, oh, women are hypergamous and they want this and that, and it's like, okay, well, it's okay for you to keep your job. They should look at you anyway. That ain't gonna happen. You just told them it's not gonna happen. You just told them that when you told them the first thing. Women shouldn't settle. Black women in particular shouldn't freaking settle because here's the deal. You did a lot of work to come up out of what the hell you is. A lot of us had to come up out of being poor and single parent homes and shit like that. And should nobody settle when they get to the damn top. It just, if ain't nobody up there that can help your ass and you figure something else out. But this, hell no, I wouldn't tell my daughter to go date the damn bus driver. Hell no. You done came up somewhere in your life and you finna go fuck off with a dude that drives a freaking bus. And ain't got enough money to even put in on what y'all got going on. You finna have to carry him. Because that's what happens when you date down. You're gonna carry the other person. And Ayana just got done saying a man should be carrying himself. She just got done saying it. She did. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about this. When it's been charged down to y'all, go hard to go home. All right? Don't settle, women. Don't settle. Don't do it. You ain't got to do it. Men shouldn't settle either. But this video is about women. Don't freaking settle. And I just got done explaining why. If you got any feelings about that, you drop the comments. You let me know. Y'all hit like, subscribe, share, join the journey with me. And we're going to talk about this stuff some more. It's been Taurus Donnie. Go hard or go home, y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.